Have you ever met someone who seemed perfect at first, only to realize later they were hiding who they truly are? Maybe it was a charming friend, a polite coworker, or even a kind partner until something small cracked the mask. What if I told you that Carl Jung, one of the most brilliant psychologists in history, believed there are just two things you need to observe to uncover someone's real character? In this video, we're diving deep into Jungian psychology to explore how these two traits act like windows to the soul. They might seem simple, even ordinary, but the truth is, they reveal more about a person than their words ever could. If you've ever felt misled, manipulated, or confused about who someone truly is, you'll want to watch this till the end. It might just change how you see people forever. Chapter 1. How they treat people who can't offer them anything. There is something profoundly revealing about the way a person interacts with those who hold no power, offer no benefit, and command no status. It's in these seemingly insignificant moments how someone addresses a janitor, a street vendor, a waiter, a struggling stranger, that their true self becomes visible. No amount of charm, education, or social success can disguise the way a soul instinctively responds when there's nothing to gain. Carl Jung understood that much of human behavior is a performance, masks worn in public, scripts followed in social rituals. But beneath the ego lies the shadow, a deeper and often hidden self. It's this part of us that surfaces when we're not being observed, when no reward is expected. The way someone treats those they consider important isn't a minor detail, it's a psychological footprint. It's where integrity lives or dies. People often adjust their manners based on what they think someone can offer. They turn on their best selves in front of a boss, speak gently to someone wealthy, or smile at someone they want to impress. But when they speak sharply to a cashier, ignore a delivery driver, or mock someone for being poor, they are knowingly exposing their unconscious values. These are not accidental slip-ups. They're truths without disguise. There is no moral courage in being kind when it's easy. True character is tested when kindness comes with no applause. When someone helps a stranger who will never repay them, when they offer warmth to someone beneath society's gaze, it tells us something sacred, that their empathy isn't performative. It's real, and that's what defines a person's inner world. Jung warned that people project their inner insecurities and unresolved wounds onto others, especially those they feel superior to. Disrespect, indifference, or cruelty toward the powerless often stems from fear, control, or a hidden desire to elevate oneself by pushing others down. It's an unconscious war within, leaking into the outer world through everyday interactions. This behavior also reveals how a person may eventually treat those closest to them. A friend who ridicules others might one day ridicule you. A partner who dismisses a stranger's pain might someday be indifferent to yours. Respect that only flows upward to the rich, the beautiful, the influential, is not respect at all. It's manipulation wrapped in civility. The most ethical, grounded people recognize the value in everyone. They don't measure a person's worth by status or usefulness. Their compassion flows laterally toward all beings, regardless of what they look like, what they earn, or what they can do in return. In these quiet, overlooked moments of interaction with the tired barista, the elderly crossing the street, the child crying in public, we witness the unfiltered heart of a person. Jung might say that it's in these instances the ego sleeps, and the soul speaks, and it speaks with unmistakable clarity. Chapter 2. How they react to challenges and stress. A person's true nature is never more exposed than in the midst of pressure, adversity, or emotional chaos. When life is going well, most people can maintain composure, project kindness, and uphold a certain moral standard. But it is during conflict when plans fail, when insults are thrown, when fear or disappointment creeps in, that the mask begins to slip. Under stress, the authentic self comes to the surface. Carl Jung believed that the conscious personality, the part we show to the world, is just the tip of the iceberg. Beneath it lies the unconscious, housing our repressed fears and resolved traumas, and instinctual impulses. When stress spikes, this unconscious material begins to leak into behavior. A normally calm person might explode in rage. A confident individual might become cruel or dismissive. And someone who seemed generous might suddenly become defensive or selfish. These shifts are not anomalies. They are windows into the parts of the self that remain hidden in peace but cannot stay buried in pain. The way someone reacts to stress reveals not just their emotional intelligence, but their moral maturity. Do they lash out when criticized? Do they seek to control others when they feel out of control themselves? Or do they pause, reflect, and respond with humility? The answers to these questions are far more telling than any resume, conversation, or curated social media post. Adversity has a way of pressing on the soul like a sculptor's chisel. It chips away the ego and exposes the raw material underneath. Some people turn bitter and blaming. They look for enemies, find excuses, or try to escape responsibility. Others, though shaken, remain grounded. They treat others with respect even when they themselves are breaking. They don't pass their suffering on to others. That is the mark of strength, not how loudly you shout in victory, but how quietly you endure in defeat. One of the most dangerous misconceptions is that stress excuses bad behavior. It does not. While pain may explain a reaction, it does not justify cruelty. When someone chooses to insult, belittle, or manipulate others in moments of stress, they are not merely having a bad day. They are allowing their unhealed wounds to dictate their choices. And if they don't reflect and grow, they will continue to harm others every time life gets hard. Pay attention to the person who can comfort without turning it into destruction. Pay attention to the one who can disagree without disrespecting. These are people whose inner world is not ruled by chaos but shaped by discipline, self-awareness, and compassion. Jung often spoke of integrating the shadow, that dark, unconscious part of us, into conscious awareness. A person who has done this doesn't become perfect, but they become honest. They don't pretend to be calm. They work to stay calm. They don't hide their fear. They face it, and because they face their own darkness, they don't throw it at others when things fall apart. Stress doesn't create character, it reveals it. A person who turns pain into empathy, who turns pressure into patience, is someone whose heart is stronger than their ego. And that kind of strength cannot be faked. Chapter 3. The final reflection: true character is quiet, not loud. At the end of the day, true character is not something that announces itself. It doesn't need to shout posture or seek attention. Instead, it whispers through consistent actions, especially when no one is watching. It lives in the small, often overlooked moments: how someone treats a stranger, how they respond to failure, how they behave when the world isn't rewarding them. Carl Jung believed that wholeness, not perfection, is the goal of the human journey. And wholeness is built through awareness, through recognizing who we become when things are hard and choosing to act with integrity anyway. Character is revealed when there is nothing to gain and nothing to lose. It's shown when someone chooses kindness over power, honesty over image, and patience over reaction. In the quiet choices they make, you'll find the loudest truth about who they are. So, when you want to understand someone, not who they pretend to be, but who they are, don't get lost in charm, credentials, or charisma. Instead, pay attention to just two things: how they treat people who can't offer them anything, and how they behave when life doesn't go their way. That's where their true self is hiding. And that's the self that matters most. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to reflect on your own actions, because character isn't just what we observe in others. It's something we continuously build within ourselves. If you found value in this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need this message today. Let us know in the comments which of the two truths spoke to you the most. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss future insights that help you grow wiser. stronger, and more self-aware. The world needs more real, kind, and courageous people. Be one.